Today, let's take a look at Biopunk. It is basically cyberpunk, but with genetic engineering, cloning, viruses, and synthetic biology instead of cybernetics. The results can look very different. I've put together 9 films worth watching, and I hope you find something new. I'd also love to hear your picks in the comments. But for now, let's get started. Code 46 is set in a future where genetics are controlled by strict international laws. One of them forbids people who share 25% or more genetic identity from conceiving a child. William Geld is sent to Shanghai to investigate forged papels at the Sphinx Corporation. These documents combine insurance cover, a passport, and a visa, allowing people to travel between restricted regions. An empathy virus makes him unusually intuitive, and he identifies Maria Gonzalez as the person responsible. Instead of reporting her, however, he becomes involved with her. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't want to spoil anything, so you'll have to take my word for it. The screenplay is exceptional, with plenty of invention in its unexpected turns. It is also surprising that Michael Winterbottom made the film for a reported $7.5 million. When there is talent, budget becomes secondary. Just don't tell modern Hollywood. No one there would believe you. To put it mildly, I'm not a big Michael Bay fan, but The Island may be his most underrated movie. It still has the huge action scenes and ridiculous explosions you would expect, but it also feels more controlled and has a much stronger story than most of his work. Released in 2005, the film follows Lincoln and Jordan, played by Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. They live in a sealed compound and are told that the outside world can no longer support human life. Their only hope is to win the lottery and be relocated to the island, supposedly the last safe place on Earth. Lincoln gradually begins to question everything around him and discovers that the residents are actually clones of wealthy people, created to provide organs and other replacement tissue if their originals ever need them. After escaping, Lincoln and Jordan turn to a technician played by Steve Buscemi for help and try to reveal the truth. It is all quite entertaining and holds up well from beginning to end, especially if you don't mind Michael Bay's usual style of action. Written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg, Antiviral combines science fiction, horror, and satire in a story about celebrity obsession taken to an extreme. Sid March, played by Caleb Landry Jones, works at the Lucas Clinic, a company with a very unusual business model. The clinic collects viruses from sick celebrities and sells them to fans who want to feel physically connected to their idols. Sid also runs a side business, using his own body to carry viruses out of the clinic and sell them on the black market. His problems begin when one of the viruses he smuggles turns out to be far more dangerous than expected. The influence of Brandon's father, David Cronenberg, is easy to see, especially in the film's body horror. But Antiviral still has its own style. It is also a sharp satire of an economic system willing to sell absolutely anything, no matter how unhealthy or repulsive, as long as someone is willing to pay for it. Never Let Me Go, based on the novel of the same name, follows Kathy, Tommy, and Ruth, played by Carey Mulligan, Andrew Garfield, and Keira Knightley. The three grow up together in sheltered surroundings, only to learn that they are clones created to provide organs for other people and are destined to die young. Their friendship becomes complicated by a painful love triangle. Kathy has loved Tommy since childhood, but Ruth begins a relationship with him and keeps them apart. Years later, the three reunite, now older and already facing the consequences of the purpose they were created for. Never Let Me Go is deeply sad from beginning to end. I hope that does not put you off, because despite its simplicity, it is a really good film. In Gattaca, genetic engineering has pushed discrimination to a new level. Your DNA is your resume. Employers judge people by their genetic profiles, which can determine what opportunities are open to them. Ethan Hawke plays Vincent, an invalid conceived the old-fashioned way, with a predicted lifespan of just over 30 years and a serious risk of heart disease. Barred from the career he wants, he assumes the identity of Jerome, a genetically perfect man played by Jude Law, whose body can no longer make use of its supposed advantages. The two become dependent on each other. It earned only about $12.5 million at the North American box office, against a reported production budget of $36 million. Audiences largely ignored it at the time, but its reputation has grown considerably since then. In 2011, scientists at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory reportedly placed it first on a list of the most scientifically plausible science fiction films. Still, it is nowhere near as widely known as it deserves to be. So go watch it, folks. Vesper had its 2022 release come and go almost unnoticed in the US, so there's a good chance it slipped past you. The film is set on a devastated Earth, where a wealthy elite lives sealed away inside self-sufficient citadels, while everyone else scrapes by outside on genetically modified crops the citadels control. Vesper is a teenage girl surviving alone with her bedridden father, Darius, brother to Jonas, the ruthless leader of a nearby settlement who trades the blood of children under his control for seeds from the citadel. When an aircraft crashes near her home, Vesper finds an injured young woman named Camellia and brings her back to recover. It turns out Camellia was fleeing the citadel, and with her help, Vesper starts to believe she might finally find a way to make the citadel's sterile crops fertile. But Camellia isn't just Vesper's chance at hope. She's also exactly what Jonas is looking for. Repo, the genetic opera, is a musical, but don't scroll past just yet. Let me try to win you over. It is set in a near future where an epidemic of organ failure has devastated the population. Enter GeneCo, a biotech megacorporation that offers organ transplants on a payment plan. Miss a payment, and GeneCo sends a repo man to reclaim your organs. It is undeniably silly, and you will definitely notice its flaws. The editing is a little rough, and the plot becomes confusing in places. But in many ways, it is a loving tribute to B-movies, and its charm is exactly what carries the story. Splice follows two genetic engineers, Clive and Elsa, as they secretly attempt to create a human-animal hybrid. When they finally succeed, without their superior's approval, the pair hide the rapidly aging creature away in an isolated farmhouse, raising her almost like parents. Naturally, things don't stay under control for long, and as their creation grows and changes, Clive and Elsa start to realize just how badly they've miscalculated. It's packed with shocking, disturbing turns that are hard to shake off long after the credits roll, and the creature at the center of it all lands squarely in Uncanny Valley territory. Genuinely unsettling creature design that does a lot of the film's heavy lifting. Released in the US just over 3 weeks after The Matrix in 1999, eXistenZ seems to share some common DNA with it, while feeling wildly different in execution. World-famous game designer Allegra Geller and Ted Piekul, a marketing trainee who suddenly finds himself acting as her bodyguard, gets swept up in a conspiracy that only grows stranger as it unfolds. This is body horror through and through. Virtual reality game pods that are actually living organisms, plugged into players through umbilical-like cords attached to bioports at the base of the spine. There are also organic guns made from bone, including one that fires human teeth, and no shortage of gooey, unsettling detail throughout. What makes us who we are? What actually separates virtual reality from the real thing, besides how convincing the details are? These are the kinds of questions the film leaves you with. The script is dense, almost tangled, layered with metaphors inside metaphors, and it rewards multiple viewings more than it does a search for tidy explanations. It is classic Cronenberg. Even virtual reality has to be experienced through the body. Long live the new flesh. Wait, wrong film.